all of us, no matter where we are in the country, all of us have a common shared experience, COVID-19. As Alexandra reports, where we were living, how old we were, what kind of work our parents did, these vary from place to place, even from teen to teen.
But what doesn't vary is the simple truth that COVID has no doubt left its mark on teens. So much so that some call us the COVID generation.
Because it was really scary just like thinking about the world around you. And I was in 6th grade when COVID happened. So living through COVID was just very intimidating because you don't really understand what's going on, but you just see a bunch of people panicking.
Fortunately, the panic is gone. But for many of us, scars remain. And what effect is that having? To discuss this, we're joined by Dr. Josh McConkey. Working in an emergency room during COVID, he saw its effects firsthand. The crisis of people getting sick is hopefully behind us. But some effects of COVID still linger, don't they?
They certainly do. In my emergency rooms, I see a lot of those effects. We see a lot of the mental health crisis that is affecting teenagers. We see increased rates of anxiety and depression and that fear of missing out that you all feel.
We've spoken with a number of teens, asking them to share their thoughts on the impact COVID has had.
I think COVID definitely impacted a lot of teens by giving them a lot of anxiousness.
That's certainly true, isn't it, Doctor? Teens today do experience more anxiety.
There's a very rising mental health crisis. I see a lot of anxiety and I see some depression. And unfortunately, I have seen some suicides as well, which are always hard to deal with. But the good news is we can do something about it.
For those who feel anxious, even depressed, what do you recommend?
Don't keep those feelings to yourself. Make sure you let your parents know, your teachers know, let your friends know, all those people around you. Let them know. Don't keep it to yourself.
One of the issues we've heard a lot about is social isolation. For example,
I like physical touch and hugs a lot, so it was way harder for me personally because I was only able to like text and call my friends and like FaceTime sometimes, but not being able to like see them every single day like for school, it was way harder, I think.
Those feelings of isolation were felt by everybody, myself included. So when your only interactions with people are over video screens, they shut down schools for a while, they shut down community centers, and that was the only interactions with your friends and sometimes your family, like your grandparents, was over video screens. So that was critical for your development, and that's why we see some of these mental health crisis issues.
How can we fix that?
The best way to fix that is to get out and get engaged in your community. Put down the screen, get out from behind the phone, and go out in your community. Go play some sports, get outside, go see your friends, volunteer, go to your animal shelter. There's so many things that you can really do to help with that.
Another issue that came up was a lot about our education.
I think COVID has had an impact on our learning abilities because I know personally I was home pretty much my entire 8th grade year during COVID, so I felt like I didn't really learn everything that I needed to.
Well, that's the good news is you can definitely do something about it, but you do have to be proactive and let people know. There's tutoring and after-school programs available. You just have to ask.
Not only are you a doctor, you're also a colonel in the U.S. Air Force Reserve, as well as an author. In your book, Be the Weight Behind the Spear, one of the reoccurring themes is resilience. For our younger viewers, the dictionary defines resilience as the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. For some teens, not all the effects of COVID have been harmful.
But in day-to-day life, I actually think I benefited. It taught me that I have to kind of be responsible for myself and I have to be in charge of getting my own stuff done, like schoolwork or chores, and it just kind of helped me mature a little bit, in my opinion.
That right there is a perfect example of resiliency. You encounter an issue and you take charge of that yourself and work on fixing that. So taking charge of your life, making sure that you're putting that time in, being accountable, taking ownership of the problem, that is a perfect example of building resiliency skills.
Another example of resiliency is a sense of humor. Here's how one teen answered our question about the difficulties he faced.
During COVID, I would say the difficulty is going to the bathroom because, There was barely any tissue. You go to the bathroom, all of it was just gone.
That is certainly one way to deal with it. And that's a great example of resiliency. Humor. If you can joke about it, then that shows great resiliency skills.
Good to know. I, for one, will try to laugh more. Thanks, Dr. McConkey.
Thank you very much for having me on the show today.
Yes, many of us are still feeling the effects of the COVID crisis. But as we've just heard, the negatives should pass. But if you feel things are still really bad or getting worse, speak to an adult. Help is available. For Teen Kids News, I'm Alexandra.